It's hilarious. Like, he makes the goofiest faces whenever I take photos of him. It's awesome. So, but he saves us in all. My point of this is, like, let's say you didn't know Paul and you saw this, you'd still laugh, right? Because it kind of shows forth the imperfection, right? We're not all GQ models. GQ models aren't GQ models, as they say. There's a lot of airbrushing going on, and so God saves us in all of our imperfection, in all of our absurdity, in all of our fallenness, all of our brokenness. And as I'm getting older, I'm only 32 now, but as I'm getting older, I'm beginning to realize more and more my brokenness, more and more how much I need a Savior. And I hope that you will also grow into that more and more. Because the more and more I realize that I need a Savior, the more and more, because I'm so broken, because I'm not perfect. Everything that I do is not right. Even though, if I listened to my grandmother, I would think that everything that I did was right and perfect. I mean, you'd think that I would poop diamonds or something, if you listen to my grandmother. But, sorry, Lauren. There will be plenty of poop talk, I'm sure. but if I listen to something to my grandmother, the way she raised me, I was very fortunate, that I was raised with such an overabundance of a sense of love. From my grandparents, mostly. As far as they're concerned, I'm the greatest thing that ever happened to this planet. And that's a wonderful feeling, to have that level of unconditional love. It's amazing. But you go through life thinking that everybody thinks that way about you, and that causes all sorts of problems, right? So, as I get older, I realize, man, I'm an idiot. I do a lot of stupid things, and I'm not perfect, and I need something more than me, something more than the sum total of my friends, something more than the sum total of my family. I need something greater, something. Whoever made me, I need them to fix me. I think that's what it is. That's what the Savior is. God is the greatest recycler. He takes a lot of garbage and turns it into beautiful things. First letter of Peter says that, right? St. Peter says no one should presume to do evil to bring about a good. Only God can bring good out of evil. So, yeah.
You didn't finish the sentence there.
Which one?
The more we realize we need a Savior, ...
Ah.
What?
The more we realize we need a Savior.
Okay.
Simply, the more we realize, the more we realize. And it's a deepening. It's a deepening. It's like the liturgy. So here's a little liturgy lesson of how to live the liturgical life. The liturgical calendar is circular for a reason. It repeats itself every year for a reason, exactly the same way, every year. And the reason why is not so that it's like a racetrack. It's not like a racetrack. It's more like a drain. Like if you take a bath and the water runs down the drain and you get the cool little drain thing that goes down, how it starts out big and then it gets tighter and faster and tighter and faster and tighter and faster and faster and faster and tighter. So that's what's supposed to be happening in the living out of the liturgical life, is that you start out here on the peripherals, and as you live it more fully, more intensely, you live it more fully, and you live it more intensely. And as you live it more fully and more intensely, it just keeps repeating more intensely, repeating it again and again, more intensely, it becomes part of you. And as that happens, you're being drawn closer and closer to the goal, to the finish line, which is God, you're being drawn into the divine mystery. That's what it's supposed to be. And if you're attentive to that, then you can live it out more fully. And that's kind of everything in the Christian life, is that it's repetitive, it's regular, it's supposed to be that way. It's not supposed to be flashy. There's nothing flashy about the faith. It's simple. same problem with the iPhone has. If you hold it a certain way, it loses its connectivity. So, what are we made for? We kind of answered this, and I've talked about it a little bit, but there's really two things that we're made for. What do you think, other than God, what are we made for?
Love God and other people.
Hmm?
Love God and other people.
No. No. Prior to that. Even prior to that. Think more selfishly.
We're made to be the representations of God on this earth. I mean, in His image.
Think more selfishly.
More selfishly.
To love ourselves.
Hmm? I heard two things.
To love ourselves.
Carson, did you say something?
Sorry, it's
Oh, okay.
about Dr. Pepper.
Well, Dr. Pepper can bring it about. What I'm looking for, pleasure, close. Combine what you said and what Lauren said.
Leisure.
Contemplate God?
More selfish. What is John behind?
What is John behind?
Paul.
John didn't show up? Wow, good.
Happiness.
Happy?
Happiness. Oh no! Ah! Craziness. This is not perfect yet. Good to know. Happiness. God created us to be happy. Happy. And all the ramifications of that. Now, perhaps a better word than happiness nowadays in our current English vernacular is God created us to flourish. Think of agriculture. And I've been taking care of a chili plant over the house. And when it was inside the house, it didn't do so well. It really likes being outside. You know, I had so many problems with that chili plant. And why? Because, you know, the sun wasn't directly on it. The bees and whatnot weren't there to pollinate it, so I didn't get as many flowers and whatnot to create more fruit, more chili plants. The leaves were not as green. They were a little sickly. And so just now that I finally got that outside, it's starting to flourish again. It's starting to grow. It looks green, strong, vibrant. Well, that's how God made us too. In everything that it is to be human, God created us to flourish. In our wills, in our intellect. That's why the mind, the whole purpose of the mind is ordered to the knowledge of all things that are knowable. And this is why God is the greatest desire of our intellect. Because He's inexhaustible. Our will desires the good, desires to possess the good. That's why God is the object of our will, because God is the good, the ultimate good that is inexhaustible. We have passions. We have both the irascible and concupiscible passions. Concupiscible passions are those things that draw us to things that we delight in, like chocolate, bacon, or chocolate bacon.
Would you say happiness is something that's already inside of us and you do specific things to kind of have it?
No.
So how would you describe it?
Flourishing.
Flourishing. So it's outside of you.
It is both external and internal. So it is